All right, laundry's done. Hey, what is up everybody? Good morning. How are you guys doing? Thank you for coming and checking out this video. My name is Brian with Bluefoot Homestead, and it is a brisk, frosty morning today. Yes. Woke up to take care of the chickens, and it was just a layer of frost on everything. Got down to about 30 degrees, frost warning on everything, so it's good I didn't start much in the garden. I got a chicken over there that's extremely broody that got their food and water for the morning and going to sit on the eggs again, so it's a good thing. I'm curious to see how that works out. Anyway, today I want to talk about kind of living below your means, getting financially ready for what's coming, because it's definitely going to be some hard times. It's kind of interesting that now we're starting to see things in the mainstream media. Fox News is starting to talk about stuff, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, I mean all these big networks. They can't really hide it anymore. They're starting to talk about it. So this is when it gets into the main public. And that's kind of a concern because that ramps everything up. So you got to get ready for it. Financial hardness or hard times are coming. There's no doubt about that. And it's good to live below your means. You know, just like I started this video out, it kind of triggered. I've been wanting to do this video for a little bit, but I'm out there hanging up my clothes. I have a perfectly fine, nice dryer for my clothes, but if it can save me $5, I'll hang it up. You know, I mean, they're a little bit crispy when you hang them up, but it definitely works. I think they smell a little bit better, and you don't get the static electricity and stuff like that. So it definitely has some good points. But anyway, it got me thinking. We got to get ready for this. So there's a lot of things to do. Getting out of debt. If you have any credit cards with balances on them, get that stuff paid off. If you have a car payment, see what you can do about that. Minimize that outflow of money that's leaving you and leaving your paycheck and bank account every month to a minimum. I know it's not really feasible and easy for a lot of people to just pay a vehicle off or something like that, but it's pretty serious. I mean, if you have $500, $700 a month going out on a vehicle, if you can downsize it, if you can't pay it off, you know, I mean, it might even be worth considering getting a little bit of a cheaper vehicle that's going to be paid for, or at least something that you can pay for in the next year or so when things really crank down. We're going to need every penny that we can get, and that's everybody. Maybe not Elon Musk, he's probably going to be all right, but the majority of the world. So tighten up as much as you can anywhere you can. Even as another big one, thinking about mortgage payment. You know, what are you paying in rent? What are you paying on your mortgage? Can you downsize there? When I moved out here to Missouri, we were paying $1,200 a month for a rental in the ghetto in Phoenix. Shootings almost every weekend, just right down the street at the 7-Eleven. And we shaved off $250 a month and got 10 acres in our own house and a mortgage, and we own it. Well, we don't own it yet, but we're in the process of getting to that point. Now, it'd be nice if we could pay it off right away. That's one thing that I considered when we first moved out here. I had a plan to pay it off between 3 and 5 years. With the money that I was saving up to the point of moving and getting all the money to move out here, if I stayed on that same track, which I was able to do, I'd be able to pay off the house in 3 years. I decided to shift away from that because I decided to go ahead and put my money in different assets and diversify, if you will, get my money out in some different places other than just paying off the house. That was just a personal decision I made. I think I'm going to be a little bit better off with that, but that's just me. So, yeah, I mean, if you can, you know, downsize your living conditions, that's a good way to save a whole lot of money. $250 a month, that's a substantial raise if you were to get that at your job. You know, you'd be stoked about that. So that's quite a bit of money. And yeah, just if you are able to go out and get some land right now, if you get in the rural areas, like I'm in the Ozarks, land is still pretty cheap. Property is cheap. Houses are cheap considering what you're paying around the country, especially compared to the major cities, and especially major cities that were the hot spots like Phoenix, Vegas, Idaho, obviously California, New York, and the high price areas, Florida, stuff like that. You're not going to be able to get a great deal on anything. You can still do it, still save some money, but you're not going to be able to get a great deal. You get out into West Virginia, Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas, and those areas, you're going to pay half for the equal in one of those big cities. So definitely good to do it. Be able to grow your own food, raise some animals, extremely important. It's not a whole lot cheaper, I'm finding out. But it is a little bit cheaper, and I'm just doing chickens and ducks right now. And it's working out to 70%, 60%. I think I can kind of tighten up on my cost on that, which I'm working on right now. But it is saving a little bit of money, and I'm going to be able to have sustainable food out of that. I'm not going to have to rely on, grocery stores or supply chains or farms or bird flu or anything like that. So yeah, if you're able to get out and be able to grow your own food, raise your own food, meats and stuff like that, it's going to save you money, and it's going to get you through the hard times, definitely. Another thing is kind of a curse of a lot of people these days, and it's a sign of the modern times, is streaming services. I have cut back almost all of mine. I had about 10 of them out there at one point, and I was like, dang, it's just $5, $15, $20, $10, just getting sucked out. And you don't really think about it when you're doing it. You don't really think about those little tiny amounts coming out at different times. It doesn't affect you that much, but when you add it all up and you end up paying $100 a month for what? A dumb game on your phone or something like that. So I've gotten down. I dialed back my Netflix. I used to have the 4K package and all that. Dialed it back, so I am just paying the basic subscription for Netflix. So that gives us a little bit of an alternative. YouTube TV. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than cable or satellite or Dish, which Dish sucks. Highly recommend staying away from them. But anyway, that's a story aside. I just dialed way back. I've got the basic Netflix, and I have my Adobe to be able to make these videos, do photography and stuff like that. I think that goes over the line of sanity for me. I need that. I need to be able to have a little bit of a hobby, which it's a little bit expensive. I use Adobe Premiere to do the videos and edit the videos. That's $20 a month, and my Adobe Lightroom Photoshop package is $10 a month. So I got $30 a month right there. I think I have $10 a month with Netflix, so I'm at $40 a month just in my streaming services. And I could cut off Netflix, and I might do that here in the future. We're kind of paying attention to how much we use it. If we're not using it a lot, it's gone. There's no reason to be able to have that money just coming out of the account. So, just kind of watch where your money's going. Just like how I started the video, just hanging up my clothes. It's going to save, maybe $5 a month. Going out to dinner, cook some macaroni and cheese or some spaghetti or something that's going to cost you, $2 for a jar of sauce, $1.19 or $1.20 for a pound of pasta. You can feed a few people on that for $3. We go out every once in a while. I'm trying to get her to dial back a little bit. She loves to go out. We used to go out and eat multiple times a week before I really started doing the crunch on my finances and saving up the money to come out here to Missouri. We're going out a lot. I used to be a chef. I love good food. I love the treatment of restaurants. I like being pampered in that way. I enjoy it, and it really sucks to dial back on that. But we went to, where was the last one that we went? Oh, we went to Paula Deen's restaurant in Branson, Missouri. If you don't know Paula Deen, she's a big Food Network star, lots of controversy around her. But she does some pretty fattening, good Southern cooking. She's known to put a stick of butter in every dish. And her restaurant there in Branson, Missouri is absolutely delicious. It's all you can eat. You just pick a couple entrees, a couple sides. And, it's you roll yourself out of there. I've never been so sickeningly full than going to that restaurant, and that's nothing against her or the restaurant. I just eat a lot of food when I go there. And it's really good, but for 2 people, $75. You know, that's $75 you can put into chickens or feed or starting a garden. You know, $75 can go a long way, and that's one meal. You know, you do that a couple times a month, and you know, even if you go to like Olive Garden or something like that, you're looking at $40-50 for 2 people. So that's a big one. That's a real big one, and it's something I really hate to do, because I mean, I like some good barbecue from the Pitmasters, not my Weber, even though I do some barbecue on there. But you know, I like to go out and eat at restaurants, and it sucks your bank account like you wouldn't believe when you really start adding these things up. You know, I mean, a lot of people out there could probably cut their expenses almost in half just by living minimalistic. Find some things to do to entertain yourself for free. Learn to cook. If you don't know how to cook, take it from me. You can do just as good as any restaurant out there if you just learn a few basics and practice. And it's so much cheaper. You know, I mean, some of the things I will say are not really cheaper because you have to buy a lot of unique ingredients, which the restaurants are going to have on hand, and they sell enough of the dishes they can buy bulk and get cheaper prices. But you know, if you have to go out and buy 90% of your ingredients and you can't get it for 1 tablespoon, you got to get 3 cups of something. Well, that 3 cups isn't really going to get used except for that one dish. You end up wasting a lot. So you have to be smart about it. But definitely, if you can cook at home, that is a big one. Even if it's just kind of cheap, simple things, you learn, you get better, and you become more efficient with it. There's a book from America's Test Kitchen that they do meal planning for a week, and all your ingredients that you buy, you don't really have any waste. Everything, different ingredients are cross-used throughout the week. So it might all be kind of Mexican themed because you have to buy a lot of cilantro, or it might be Asian themed with ginger and stuff like that, so you don't have any waste. And at the end of the week, they have a kitchen sink type meal that uses pretty much all the leftover ingredients, and then you can kind of tweak it any way you want. And it's just a throw together meal, and it's always really good. I recommend something like that. That's going to be the most cost efficient way to be able to eat really good, cook it yourself, and save tons and tons of money. So another big one is gas. If you don't have to drive around, we're out in the country, it's an hour. It cost me, well, it's an hour to go into Springfield or Lebanon. These are the 2 big cities that are close by that have all the big box stores and whatnot. We went there this weekend. My girlfriend usually drives because she gets better gas mileage, but my truck, I end up using a 1/4 tank. You know, and that ends up being about $15-20. You do that every weekend, going into town and doing some driving and stuff like that, you know, you're at $60. So that's another $60 you can kind of put in your pocket, or even take it down to just 1 trip, be thoughtful about it, get everything that you need ahead of time. You got to plan accordingly to be able to have the money and stuff like that, but go in 1 trip, get everything done, you're good for the month. You don't have to keep running back and forth to be able to go into town. So, yeah, definitely, you can save a lot of money out there. I mean, just the normal American way that we live and the routines that we are in our lives as Americans, as just regular people in society, we're kind of psychologically trained, if you will, with our media, even our government's involved with it, to do certain things. It's a little bit of keeping up with the Joneses as far as a psychological type thing. So we just expect this is what we need to do. But if you think about it, you don't really need to do that. You can be a lot more efficient with it and save a whole lot of money in the process. So, you know, definitely, there's a whole list of things. I mean, air conditioning and heating, just dial it back a little bit. Live as simple as you can. Spend as little amount of money as you can. And if you can get it into You know, if you want to trust this sort of thing, a money market account, get a little bit of interest on a savings account, or invest it, buy some gold, do different things just to put your money in safe areas and try to get a little bit of money back from the money that you let people borrow. Don't just blow it on things that are not gonna do any good for you. You know, sure, you know, it can buy happiness in a way, but if you go spend, you know, $2,000 on vacation for the week and going out of town, you know, what else could that $2,000 do? You know, think about it, you know, after shit kind of hits the fan, you know, and maybe you might be glad that you went and did some things, but, you know, kind of look into the future and what, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 could do for you, or what $75 can do for you, when you're really going to need that money, because that time is definitely coming. So definitely try to live below your means. Think about it. Everybody's life is different. Everybody has different situations. What I'm doing isn't going to apply to you. Maybe a little bit of it could, but sit back and analyze what's going on. Analyze where your money's going out. Analyze what you're spending money on. Think about ways that you can save money. It's extremely important in today's times. Live below your means. Really, I mean, that's what it comes down to, is definitely live below your means. Live a simple life. And you know what? If I'm wrong about all this and you don't need to do any of it, guess what? You got some money in savings. You got some assets that you can turn back into cash. You're going to be in a better place. So if we do need it, you're going to be in a better place. So there's no lose in living frugal and living below your means. So, all right, that's about all I got today. I just wanted to kind of bring that up. I didn't have a checklist or anything. I just kind of set the camera down and talked to you guys. So there's a whole lot more I could probably put into this video, but I didn't. So, yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you like it, hit that like button, subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Hope everybody has a wonderful day. It's warming up a little bit. The sun feels good. So I'm going to get some chores done today and keep this day rolling before I got to go to work tonight. So have a great day. I appreciate you watching. Until next time, peace.